So we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you all so much for joining us at the Hudson River Watershed Alliance's annual Watershed Conference. Our theme this year is Climate Change Impacts on Water in the Hudson Valley. My name is Emily Vail. I'm the Executive Director of the Hudson River Watershed Alliance, and I'll be giving a quick welcome and introduction before we get started with the official program. The Hudson River Watershed is about 13,400 square miles long. It extends from Lake Tier of the Clouds in the Adirondacks all the way down to New York City. And before we start, we want to acknowledge that we are on the lands of Indigenous people, including the Munsee Lenape, Wappinger, Mohican, Schaghticoke, Abnaki, Haudenosaunee, Mohawk, and Oneida people who have stewarded this land throughout the generations. The Hudson River Watershed Alliance works throughout the Hudson River watershed to unite and empower communities to protect our shared waters. We support watershed groups, help communities work together on water issues, and communicate as a collective voice across the region. I'm very excited to announce that we just released our brand new strategic plan. And I want to thank the Hudson River Watershed Alliance Board of Directors, Larissa Reed from Common Ground Consulting, and Fabia Work in Design for putting together this beautiful product. It is now on our website, and you can take a look at the link that will be in the chat. The strategic plan really hones our direction for the next several years. And especially as we're growing, it's a really exciting time to make sure we're in line with our vision and our values. The Hudson River Watershed Alliance offers a number of different programs for education and capacity building. We have a monthly breakfast lecture with a focus this year on implementation funding for watershed projects. A couple of upcoming events include November 10th program on the Green Innovation Grant Program, December 8th program on dam removal. And we've also got past lectures in this series on our YouTube channel, which have included the Climate Smart Communities Grant Program and Environmental Justice Community Impacts Grants. And thanks to NUIPIC and the Hudson River Estuary Program for supporting this work. We're also working on a new watershed characterization technical assistance opportunity, focusing on the Sparkhill Creek watershed and the Punch Brook Rodan watershed. We'll be working with advisory committees in those two small watersheds to develop a watershed characterization, which is the first step of watershed planning. And we're really excited to be piloting this approach with both an urban and a rural watershed. We'll be building off this work to create a watershed characterization guidance document in 2023 and 2024 with support from the Hudson River Estuary Program, and looking forward to supporting more groups in planning work. With Pace University Land Use Law Center, we just wrapped up a Land Use Leadership Alliance training with municipal leaders from the Esopus and Rondout Creek watersheds. And we're looking forward to hosting a Land Use Leadership Alliance training in the Fishkill Creek watershed in 2023, again with funding just announced from the Hudson River Estuary Program. With the Consensus Building Institute, New York Sea Grant, and the Hudson River Estuary Program, we're really excited to be on the team to support the Hudson River Flood Resilience Network. This network convenes municipal leaders from Hudson Riverfront communities with a focus on current and future flood risks. As part of this annual watershed conference, we'll have a session on Wednesday that's focused on the strategic roadmap for the Flood Resilience Network. And we know many of you will be participating in that, and we're looking forward to hearing from you. I'm also very excited to announce our new Hudson River Watershed Alliance staff member. Jen Benson is our new Watershed Program Specialist. Jen will be supporting Hudson River Watershed Alliance programming and watershed group capacity building. And we're so excited to have her on board because it also significantly increases the capacity at the Hudson River Watershed Alliance as well. So Jen has been working with us as a part-time contractor, and we're really thrilled to be bringing her on as a full-time employee starting next week. So thank you, Jen. We're here today at the annual Watershed Conference, and this year we've got a 3-day, 3-session approach to this content. So we're here today in day 1 for context setting, thinking about climate change projections and risk as a virtual session. Tomorrow morning, we will be at the Wallace Center at the FDR historic site in Hyde Park to focus in on local resilience and adaptation strategies, featuring case studies from throughout the Hudson River watershed. And then on Wednesday afternoon, we'll be at the Hudson River Maritime Museum and Clearwater Barn in Kingston to focus in on the Hudson River Flood Resilience Network Strategic Roadmap, which will be a participatory session that will also include a tour of the City of Kingston wastewater treatment plant. And we're really looking forward to that as well. So why are we focused this year on climate and water? Communities across the Hudson River watershed are experiencing a variety of climate hazards. These have included localized flooding, in some cases also regional flooding, intense drought, harmful algal blooms, beach closures and other water quality impacts, wildfires, such as the ones that were on the Shangum Ridge this summer, and many other issues that impact water. They impact our drinking water supply, our recreational opportunities, ecosystem health, public safety, and so much more. We also saw that there was a need to bring together climate and water themes to find opportunities for actions. We know that there's so many people working on climate change, climate smart communities task forces, and other programs. There's also so many people working on water, and there may be some real opportunities to bring these groups and programs together to find some collaborative opportunities for action. So we're really looking forward to sharing across this conference innovative science, inspiring case studies, along with new programs and opportunities. Today's focus is on climate change projections and risks, along with context setting for the next sessions, which will focus on strategies. A couple of reminders for the virtual session. This session is being recorded and it will be shared with attendees after the event. We don't have any formal breaks in this program, but please feel free to take breaks as needed. Audio and video are turned off for attendees, so please feel free to grab a snack, make yourself comfortable, take breaks as needed. Obviously, video and audio are on for speakers. And also, you're proving that you can do this very well. Please feel free to use the chat box to communicate during the session. If you have questions during any of the presentations, please use the separate Q&A box. That'll help us keep track of questions to ask our presenters after their formal presentation. I want to thank all of our sponsors whose help really makes this event possible. We've tried really hard to keep costs low for attendees, and that's really in large part thanks to the generosity of our sponsors. So I'd like to thank the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation Hudson River Estuary Program and NUIPIC, JSA Sustainable Wealth Management, the New York State Water Resources Institute. River sponsors include the Hudson River Maritime Museum and Hudson Valley Regional Council. Our creek sponsors, Capital District Regional Planning Commission, Delaware Engineering, Ann and Fred Osborne III from the Easter Foundation, along with Pace University, SLR Consulting, and Ty and Bond. Thanks to our stream sponsors, Barton and LaJudas, Gordon and Svensson, Riverkeeper, and the Rockland County Soil and Water Conservation District, and all of our brook sponsors as well. I also want to give a huge thank you to the Hudson River Watershed Alliance Board, who've been working really hard this year to work on our strategic plan, grow the Hudson River Watershed Alliance in our capacity, and really chart a path forward. And in particular, I'd like to thank the members of the conference working group who really had the vision to put all of these pieces together into this format and agenda. So huge thanks to Nicole Leibel, Michael Finewood, Emily Svensson, Larissa Reed, and Jessica Coonan from New York Sea Grant. So that's it from me. And with that, I'd like to hand it over to Kate Meierdiercks, the board president of the Hudson River Watershed Alliance from Siena College.
Great. Thank you, Emily. And I'm just going to really reiterate a lot of the things that you've already told us, but I just wanted to say hi to all of you in this virtual space. I am really excited to be here. I have to tell you that the Watershed Alliance is one of my favorite groups of people to work with because the staff, the board, and all of our partners are so dedicated to water and watershed issues. I also want to thank Emily Vail for her work putting together this conference, along with Jen Benson and the conference committee. Really, their approach was so thoughtful and intentional. And I also want to thank our speakers for sharing their time and being willing to share the wonderful work that they're doing. Issues like clean water, flooding, and climate change, they are so big and they're so important, and they can be really challenging and overwhelming at times. I find that learning more about these issues through conferences like this one can, especially the work that's being done in the Hudson River watershed, is inspiring, and it fills me with optimism and a sense of hope. And I hope that the conference participants will feel the same. So thank you all for being here, and I'll send it back to Emily.